Hello, hi mabuhay majors! This is me again, your teacher Manifer El Kuram, discussing to you what is all about personal, community, environmental health. But this time, we will focus first on the introduction to personal health. In the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, we must learn the ability to take charge of our health by making conscious decisions to be healthy. It not only refers to the physical well-being of an individual, but it also comprises the wellness of emotional, intellect, social, economic, spiritual, and other areas of life. Now, let us first know your own views on health by simply reflecting on these following questions. What does health mean to you? How important is health to you? And what do you do to stay healthy? Did you get it? Now, in this session, you will learn about the nature of health, the health education, the health promotion, and some related concepts. This will help you to understand the social, psychological, and physical components of health. Now, let us first define what is health. In the Oxford English Dictionary, health is defined as the state of being free from sickness, injury, disease, bodily conditions, and something indicating good bodily condition. Now, stop for a moment and think about someone you think is healthy and someone else who you would consider not to be healthy. Now, look at the definition again. The definition of health. Is it similar to the things you thought about when you thought of a healthy and an unhealthy person? This definition of health is a widely publicized one, but you may have thought of someone who has a disability or wondered about someone who looks okay, but who does no exercise. Clearly, health is not quite as simple as the definition implies. The concept of health is wide, and the way we define health also depends on the individual perception, our religious beliefs, our cultural values, our norms, and social class. Generally, there are two different perspectives concerning people's own definition of health, a narrow perspective and a broad perspective. Now, let us try to know what was the narrow perspective of health. When people talk about the narrow perspective of health, they consider health as the absence of disease or disability or a biological dysfunction. And according to this definition, the individual is healthy if all the body parts, the cells, the tissues, the organ systems are functioning well and there is no apparent dysfunction of the body. That's the narrow perspective of humans to health. But when it comes to the broader perspective of health, the most widely used broader definition of health is that within the Constitution of the World Health Organization, they define health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. The classic condition of health is important as it identifies the vital components of health. To more fully understand the meaning of health, it is also important to understand each of its individual components. Now, let us proceed to what we call personal health. We have here the personal health application. Personal health application is an electronic tool of storing, managing, and sharing health information in illness and wellness by an individual in a secure and confidential movement, or a confidential environment rather. Now, if we have now the personal and health application as a tool of storing and managing health information, then we also have what we call the PHR or the personal health record. The personal health record is a tool that you can use to collect, track, and share past and current information about your health or the health of someone in your care. Sometimes, this information can save you the money, the inconvenience of repeating routine medical tests. Even when routine procedures do need to be repeated, your personal health record can give medical care providers more insight about your personal health story. Did you get it? I hope so. Now, let's talk about personal health and wellness. Now, Health Education Services believes that optimal overall wellness in all aspects of life, such as emotional, intellectual, social, spiritual, and physical, is also the key to success in college and beyond. And that are the things that we're talking about health and wellness. Now, when we say health, they define health as the a focus on the theme of the body's ability to function. Health was seen as a state of normal function that could be disrupted from time to time by a disease, and also as well as wellness. Now, let us try to discuss about the different concepts of health and wellness. Let us discuss how does emotional wellness defined. Emotional wellness is a dimension that involves being fully in touch with our feelings and the emotions regarding ourselves and to the others. Developing self-confidence, love, and trust for the others are the key aspects that help to define emotional wellness. Having and maintaining a strong and a healthy emotional aspect of personal wellness can help cope with the emotional challenges in life that often go hand in hand with college years, most especially what you are doing right now. That is already a self-explanatory definition of emotional and wellness. Emotional wellness, rather. Now, let us proceed to what we call intellectual wellness. This aspect of wellness refers to the development of the mind as an instrument for decision making, as well as learning and interpreting experiences. It involves your critical thinking, your curiosity, and your creativity. The ability to be open to new experiences and ideas that contribute to growth and characteristics associated with a healthy intellectual dimension. That's why mental wellness, or what's so-called intellectual wellness, is very important. Now, think about people in the community who are showing behavior that may indicate they are going through a period of mental distress in their lives. Think about it. Now, do you think that everyone in distress shows the same sorts of symptoms? Sometimes, it can be really hard from the outside to tell if the person is struggling with mental health issues. But at the other times, they show symptoms that suggest a lack of self-awareness or personal identity or inability of rational and logical decision making. At other times, it might be apparent that they are not looking after themselves and are without a proper purpose in their life. They may be drinking alcohol and have a non-logical response to any request. You may also notice that they have an inability to maintain their personal autonomy and are unable to maintain good relationships with people around them. Next, we have the so-called social wellness. Social wellness refers to the idea of being able to develop meaningful interpersonal relationships. It also involves being able to maneuver through various social situations while appreciating the similarities and differences between people. The social component of health or wellness is considered to be the ability to make and then maintain acceptable and proper interactions and communicate with other people within the social environment. This component also includes being able to maintain satisfying interpersonal relationships and being able to fulfill a social role. Having a social role is the ability that people have to maintain their own identity while sharing, cooperating, communicating, and enjoying the company of others. This is really important when participating in friendships and taking a full part in family and community life. Now, I have a question. Which of the following examples could be considered to contribute to social health? And then try to explain it on your own. 1. Mourning when a close family member dies. 2. Going to a football game or involvement in a community meeting. 3. Celebrating traditional cultural events with your community. 4. Shopping in the market. 5. And the last one is creating and maintaining friendship. Now, which of the following examples could be considered would you consider to contribute to social health? Let us proceed to the next one, the spiritual wellness. Spiritual wellness revolves around the development of your own personal belief system and adherence to that belief system. Seeking purpose and meaning in life, whatever your beliefs, while appreciating the various religious perspective of the other people is also a key aspect of a good or of having a good spiritual wellness. So when we say spiritual wellness, it morely talk about the religious beliefs of an individual. Next, what about physical wellness? Physical wellness, this is perhaps the most well-known category, and it includes a personal attention to and maintenance of overall health through nutrition. Physical activity, sleep, and positive healthy habits to maintain a healthy quality of life. Physical wellness is the ability to take charge of your health by making conscious decisions to be healthy. To understand fully what is physical health, you need to know what is considered to be physically unhealthy so that you can contrast to the two. Physical health. When we say physical health, it is one of the components of the definition of health, and it could be defined as the absence of diseases or disability of the body parts. Physical health could be defined as the ability to perform routine tasks without any physical restriction. So take a look at the following examples. The following examples can help you to understand someone who is physically unhealthy. First, do you consider it as physically unhealthy? If a person who has been harmed due to a car accident, is he a physically unhealthy person if a farmer is infected by malaria and unable to do their farming duties? Or is he physically unhealthy if a person is infected by tuberculosis and unable to perform his or her tasks? Now, think about someone with physical damage, perhaps due to car accident, maybe. Now, according to the World Health Organization, they define it as, According to the World Health Organization, they think about someone in your community who you would consider to be physically disabled, while Both of these people may be restricted in their movement and ability to do routine tasks. They may be still in the state of being physical and mental well-being. Health is not limited to biological integrity and the physiological functioning of the human body. Psychological health, social health, intellectual health, emotional health. Those are those. Did you get it? Now, let us proceed to the different health practices and how or what are the skills that we can use to cope up to personal health. First, let us read this one. Personal health practices and coping skills refers to those actions by which individuals can prevent diseases and promote self-care, cope with challenges, and develop self-reliance, solve problems, and make choices that enhances health. So that was the function of having a personal health practice and coping skills. Now, what are the following? So before we proceed to the following practices and coping skills, let us also read this one. The definitions of lifestyle include not only individual choices, take note of that, but also the influence of social, economic, and environmental factors on the decisions people make about their health. There is a growing recognition that personal life, or what we call choices, are greatly influenced by the socio-economic environments in which people live, learn, work, and play. And that is very, very true. Now, these are the list of health practices. First, you need to practice healthy eating, or what we call healthy eating habits. Second, you need to have activities in order to improve your health, such as having physical activities or physical exercises. Next, you need also to have a good or you need to achieve the maximum hour of sleep. Next, your medical practices. You need to daily check your medical conditions. By just simply looking at your personal health records, you can check your medical conditions. You don't need to go to the doctors if you are holding with you your personal health records. Next, the practice about the interpersonal negotiation, and also health practice on how to stay safe. Next, we need to have social support. Social support, your mental outlook, your work or the activity, as I mentioned a while ago, and of course, the emotional regulation or how we regulate stress. And we also have spiritual and the others. So there are a lot of different health practices that you can do. So hindi ko na siya nilagay lahat dyan kasi masyadong marami. So it's up to you to look for other health practices that you can do aside from what I have shown in the presentation. Okay, now health is a broad concept containing several different aspects. When we say physical and mental health are issues that often interrelated, and wellness is expressed through the integration of mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and social health components. I think that's the end of my presentation. Okay. Good day, everyone. Goodbye. And then stay active, stay healthy, and stay sanitized all the time. See you next time, majors!